So when we do our check-ins, let's just identify what are the things we need to use our time on together here today. I'm talking, so I'll give my own check-in first. Like I said, I have a computer. IRL has really had me for the last week, so I just got it this morning, and I'm diving into forum posts and getting my opinions expressed on things and thoughts. But I apologize for not being fully present here for this last week. And great sprint check-in call this morning. It's really good to hear how we're really thinking this through and making sure that our economy launch is our focus and that all of the criteria that each team wants to have met is in place before that. So excited about everything we have going on from a priority perspective for our time today. I thought that was a great conversation we had today, and I think we should talk a little bit about Go Live and what are our requirements, and make sure we've got a process in place for that. And what are the things that need to be complete before we feel comfortable. Other than that, I'm ready for a great week, and I'll pass it to Mitch.
Hey everyone, I'm feeling good. Early, so still fully waking up a bit. My focus for this week is to look at the emails and overhauling them and getting Rodri onboarded to start doing the design overhaul with that. I've got a couple documentation articles to finish, and apart from that, I want to do like a full user testing pass on both dApps. And for governance, I'd just like to know more stuff about the vesting for contributor process, and just like make some proposals on that. And that's it. I will pass it to Amin. If he's there. Amin? Okay, what about Mia?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm feeling very focused. I have a lot of things to do as I'm going to be traveling to Guatemala on Friday. So my focus this week is to just get the T's and C's done. I just want to go through a little bit of testing. Also, as when I travel, I might meet some people. I'm going to be visiting some projects and wanting to see if they're interested in onboarding with Giveth. And yeah, my priority for this meeting is to just stay up to date, and I'll pass it to Ashley.
Thanks, Mia. Good morning, everybody. I'm feeling good this morning. My focus for this week is mostly documentation-oriented stuff, just kind of making sure it's all finalized and kind of ready to go, implementing changes. And for my priority for governance, I guess I just have a couple questions about the buddy system and how we can define that a little bit more. So that was something I wanted to talk about. And yeah, I will pass it to Frischel.
Everyone, so I'm feeling great, and my focus for this week is to follow up on those who for the contributors who are not yet done with their work agreements and who are yet to post in Giveth forum, and also start with the process for payments and work with Griff on that. And yeah, so my priority for the governance team is the work agreement. And I'll pass it to Hannah.
Good morning. Let's see. I don't really have any distractions this morning, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling really focused, excited to jump into the week. And my focus for this week is to I think I'm going to try to propose something for the vesting schedule. So we have some options there. I got all my questions answered about our Give from Griff, so I'm going to write that forum post. So thanks to him for answering all those questions. And then just as soon as we have the current contributor vesting schedule, getting that into our Give total stock so we can kind of see where we're at with everything and have that done. So that is it for me, and I will pass it to Mateo.
Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, happy Monday. For this week, I'm looking forward to make a new release on the app. I'm checking with Monique and the team to maybe see what's the new features that we're adding. Feeling okay, feeling all right, excited to hack on many issues and bugs that I have seen and noticed on the app. For this call, I'm excited to sync up with everyone and keep discussing the vesting situation and all of that. I'll pass it to Amin.
Hi everyone. Sorry, my Discord was crashed and missed passed to me last time. I'm feeling good. I think that this call is a good opportunity for talking about how we will go through our plan and I'll launch our application and token. The point is that I think, and maybe Monique and Matthew and Rami and Mohammed agree that Giveth.io is not fully ready for such onboarding new user and get lots of traction. Because we have session about designing the backend in order to integrate backends and have all the services in one website, Giveth.io, but it will not be it's not reachable in near future. So I guess that we may continue discuss this in governance call. We should think how we put effort on the Giveth.io and token. That's it. I pass it to Monique.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm here just to sync with you more and give feedback. And, if it's something related to me, I'll be the touch point. Who's left?
Hey, pick me.
Take it.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling silly. My intention for the week is to mostly focus on supporting Give economy stuff. I want to finish documentation stuff and coordination and helping Chair get started with the front end work and finishing the design stuff. And then also just perusing the forum and making comments on any of the outstanding proposals. I don't have anything major focuses for this governance call. I'm just looking forward to kind of going through some of the proposals and chatting about them. Pass it to Griff.
Yeah, I wrote some things on the airplane yesterday, and so I'm feeling great. We have kind of mediocre internet at this place that we're at on the beach in Costa Rica. So sorry for no camera and just using one computer. But so if you need me, just I'm here, but under Lauren's disguise. And but there's the Argive DAO. I feel like it might be worth bringing some discussion on how we allocate tokens with the Argive DAO, and especially since it's going to control vesting. That was a pretty important topic that was coming up on the forums, and I have some suggestions.
Oh, we're gonna pass it to. Wait, who's missing?
Yeah. Did Mateo go?
Yeah, Mateo. But
Jonna? I think I would go. Yeah. Hi guys. Well, I'm feeling good, and And my focus on this, my plan in this call is I'm excited to see that forum post, where it goes and what's the numbers for the vesting. And to finish the current contributor list and just and yeah, sync everything. And yeah, that's it. Pass it on to, I think everyone goes through, so I pass it back to Danny.
Thank you very much. Okay, I heard 3 things out of those check-ins: vesting and the Argive distro, work agreement updates, and stability of Giveth.io, and our launch timing strategy and blockers. So where should we start? Maybe we start with the work agreements, Rochelle, and that feels like one we can cover quickly, and then give ourselves plenty of time for the others.
Yeah, sure. So just an update. The following has already posted in Giveth forum: Amin, Mohammed, Mateo, and Donna. And so far, there has been no response yet for Donna's post. So please share your comments and thoughts in her post. And also for the rest, they are not yet able to post in the Giveth forum yet. So that is Danny, Bowen, Monique, Ramin, and Cherik. And I would just like to ask if did Bowen reach out to anyone here to be his buddy, because I can't seem to get updates from him. So I guess no one?
I haven't heard from him, but I'll poke him again.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, that's the update. And then I'd like to ask, for the roles posted in Giveth forum, should we set a timeline for how long it should stay there and for it to be finalized so that it can proceed to the ARDA voting? So do you have any suggested number of days?
I thought I heard we talked about 5 days.
Yeah, that was the agreement. Minimum 5 days on the forum, and then it can go to the DAO.
Okay, so yes. So some of the posts there has already comments, and I think Donna's post has no feedback yet, so kindly comment there. And
Maybe-
yeah, for the others who didn't,
Maybe there could be some way of okay, it has to be there minimum 5 days and so many likes on the post, so that we know at least some people read it, and agreed with it.
I didn't quite hear. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. So the post, minimum number of 5 days is good for sure. But maybe we should also add some number of likes to the post before it goes to Argive and make that a standard, or something to say that, oh yeah, enough people actually read this and agreed.
5 likes.
5 likes.
Love it. So I tend to like liberally once I've read somebody's post, but it doesn't usually mean that I'm complete in accepting it. Is there a way we can't add emojis like we do in GitHub, right? It's just that's all there is like.
Maybe just for these posts, only like them if you agree with them. Just for
yeah,
these
I can
posts.
change my habit. Mm-hmm.
Just for these posts. No, that's a good habit.
I like it too. Okay. I like your habit.
So you're talking about just for adding the roles.
Yeah, I think, or maybe, maybe just for adding the roles, or for any proposals that are then going to the Argive DAO, we need to have at least 5 people or something like the original post, not necessarily comments that are.
I don't know. I think that's a goofy way to design it, and I think the person who's making the proposal should make the effort to get advice, and it shouldn't be this thing of having to get enough likes on it.
For sure, but I think that the idea is that we leave it up there for 5 days, and then right now we're saying after 5 days it can just go onto the DAO. But what if it was just there 5 days and nobody went on their computer and didn't look at it at all? So I think even if somebody gets pinged, I think the likes, it's if we agree to it, then it's sort of people verifying that they read it and then they're okay with it to go out.
unless
Just signaling.
unless you have another better low effort way for people to signal that this is a good thing. Okay.
Legend.
Wow.
I think it'd be pretty easy for people to just type something that's like, I agree, or, that's not too much effort.
The other suggestion that what you just reminded me of, Kai, is the alternative to doing it in the meeting is also post the link to the forum post in the governance or the DAO, or excuse me, in the DAO chat and say this is ready to go and notify us so that if anybody has a resistance, they can say so.
We have channel like this. It's almost cannot open the Discord. There's so many unread notifications, not only from Giveth, other servers. That's the only thing where I would say I'm not sure everything is read in governance. And I always like this space here because see how many people show up. Wow, so many people I don't even know. Hi guys. And yeah, here you can get. We can talk about it. We can hear it. Like if you're here and you still not hear it, that's really your problem. But it's very hard to say so and so many people read it because we never know when it's written on Discord. That's a bit the problem with the platform per se.
I hear that.
I think this is definitely a good place to get soft consensus on things and then like get some validation, and then if you don't hear anything, then it can go up to the RDAO.
Yeah. So I'm probably the slowest person right now. As other people here on this chat feeling like they've read the work agreements, could we here on this meeting say within the next 24 hours, make sure you speak your mind and then it's going on the DAO? Has it been up for 5 days?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I read at least Mohammed's and Amin's. But I think if we get like 24 hours, sounds great.
Yeah, I feel comfortable committing to get those reviewed, and if there's any comments that I have, I can do that in the next 24 hours.
I also think that like, discussion should come before and have more time, but because we have that on a forum, I think it's fine to have, if we are ready, be rather quick. Just my 5 cents.
Yeah, sorry, my brain went off into thinking, there's 3 there. Could we just do it in this call? I mean, we could also review it and comment it and take a look now if we wanted to. But I think we want to get on to vesting for this particular week. But in the future, we could be adding these things to the agenda to actually see if anybody has any resistance to discuss.
Yeah, that sounds great since others are still finalizing their own work agreement. So yeah, I guess it's great that we have like a different discussion about it where we can run down all the agreements and agree and comment about it.
And I guess one other comment I have on it, like we could also say, hey, we would like to have all of these work agreements complete and up for voting by X date, and encourage us all to hit some timelines and have deadlines if necessary.
Okay, sure. So maybe I'll just chat in the channel what would be the deadline for the posting in Giveth forum, since I think that's the first step for now.
Great. Okay, does anybody have anything else you want to talk about around work agreements?
I do have something I want to talk about that's kind of around work agreements. It's more about like the buddy system, and some things have come up like, so as we have it right now, in order to create a work agreement, you have to be consistently contributing for 3 months. But do we then wait 3 months to assign new contributors buddies, or do they get a buddy before? Do they get a buddy from day one, or maybe a month after? Or when does the buddy part come into play for new contributors?
So I think it depends. Sorry, Frashelle, I'm just going to jump in. I think it depends on how the new contributor gets there. Sometimes we hire people, and when we hire people for a job, from wherever they come from, then they get assigned a buddy right away to onboard them into it. If they're a contributor and they just kind of flow in, then they don't necessarily have a buddy. They're just hanging out. But eventually, for them to succeed, I assume someone would take them under their wing, kind of informally. And so I think that will just evolve naturally. But Frashelle, did you have something to add on that?
Yeah, as what I've understood on the guideline and process that I've set up is that it is for those new contributors that are hired directly. So yeah, Ashley clarified to me that there is another version of like new contributors where they voluntarily contribute to the community. So yeah, I think Ashley mentioned about when's the right time to have a buddy. So yeah, I think that I don't really know about the other version of the new contributors, so I can't say much.
Well, we have somebody on this call. Like, Mia, do you have a buddy yet? You've been contributing here consistently for a period of time.
Yeah, it's been 2 months now, and yeah, I do. Ashley's my buddy.
Awesome. Yeah, so I agree with what you said, Griff, that it definitely has to do with how they come in, and it could naturally occur that the buddy aligns based on who brought them in, but also it's when we notice someone's contributing and wants to stick around. It's documented in our process, so if somebody wants to be a contributor, they're going to look at the process, and the first step's going to be get a buddy.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. We had somebody in the server that was like, how do I get a buddy? I want to contribute. And so I tried to help them kind of define which area they would want to contribute to, because I think that's also important. You'd want somebody knowledgeable in the area that you're contributing to probably be your buddy. So that makes sense. And I guess it can definitely just happen naturally for each person.
Awesome. Okay, I feel like we're pretty complete around work agreements, buddies, and getting ourselves contracted and all of that part set up. Let's just move over to vesting. I heard several people mention that, and the Give distro. Looking for the link. Let's see. Okay, Mitch, you said you'd like to know more about vesting for the contributors and making some proposals. Do you want to share more about that, and we can dive in?
Oh, I mean, just like having a discussion. Like I've been playing with the sheet and looking at some stuff, and like if anyone has any proposals to present or anything to discuss around that, really.
Did you make a copy and play with it? Make any changes?
Yeah, I've been playing with it right now, and my main thing is that I'd like to see more come out over a shorter period, So, I mean, I'm playing with some numbers and looking like maybe like 35% up front with like a year and a half of vesting. but I still think like a 3-month distribution is pretty solid. I don't really think that number should change.
Right on. And Griff, regarding how to allocate tokens and do the vesting on the Give DAO. Anything you want to share with us there? Get the discussion kicked off.
Sure. I minutes ago I posted it on the forum, so I feel bad. I'm sorry about that. I should have posted it last night. But basically, the Give DAO, and I talked with you about this already, Danny, and you kind of gave a little bit of a thumbs up. I think when we distribute tokens, we should be consistently distributing a lot to current contributors. Give. So I was thinking of following more of a Fibonacci sequence for Give tokens. So and which we've done so far, 1, 2, 3. But then the next one would be 5. The next distribution would be 8, and then 13. And that way, the current contributors end up getting a lot of tokens, and other people kind of just get inflated away. The other thing is like I like the 555-111 thing, but I think it's just going to get a little confusing when we get a little bit further up the road. So I was going to suggest that we change it just to be one token. You know, like instead of 5555, just 5. And then currently the requirements for a proposal to pass are 20% quorum and 66% support required. I think it would be cool to raise the support required so it's easier for us to get no votes on vesting, and maybe 75% or 80%. And another important part is like maternity leave and paternity leave should be excluded from this, because like Forrest and Kai are, did contribute, but like that doesn't mean they should lose their vesting, or also even lose their governance power because they had a kid. Like that's crazy. So we just need, and I don't know if there's other things that should be considered for issues that would let's be sane about it. And that's the nice thing is that the Give DAO is a subjective oracle. So, and this is the last thing I wanted to put, which is actually point number 3. But that we should have some kind of guideline that is, still up to the interpretation of Give, but, something like maybe on average over 5 hours a week being contributing to Giveth. And that they are generally up to date on what's happening, like they're going to enough calls to understand things as a requirement for them to continue to get Give tokens. It's a pretty small standard. It's not like you have to be working fully part-time, like 20 hours a week or something, just 5 hours a week, and being aware. This is my proposal. I would love some more comments to it, probably just in the forum. Of course, I'm open to any suggestions here. But if we do make the last thing is, I guess, if we make a lot of these changes to the DAO, it's a lot easier to just deploy a new Give DAO than it is to like try to modify everybody's token balances and make like 20 or 30 votes to do all these changes.
So that would mean redistributing governance tokens.
Yeah, we would just
same one.
We would just make a copy of this DAO basically and redeploy it with a different address. The address would change, the website, everything would change as far as like the links and stuff, but
using the same Give token address.
No, we would create a new token as well, but it could still be called Give and all these things. It would just be, instead of going through and looking at making a vote to change every single person's token balance, and then making and then also to change the support required is like we would need Sam or a dev to do it because there's no way to do it through the UI. And there's there's a few things like that that are annoying, and it'd be easier just to redeploy.
So would you do the exact same token distribution then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We wouldn't take the opportunity to trim some of the fat from the RGive.
I wouldn't. I think that's a dangerous game.
So there was 3 things you spoke of. The second one was changing the required support, and that one's a technical one that is the main factor in considering redeploying with a new token address, right?
I would say it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back, but also, I think we have like 20 people plus that we would have to have 20 votes that we'd all have to click and vote on to pass to burn everyone's tokens if we want to change from 5555 to just 5. We'd have to make it an individual vote for each person, and then all of us would have to come and vote yes on it. It's just a lot of work. It would take like 10 minutes to redeploy the DAO. So I feel like that's just more efficient.
So everybody in the very first distribution who got 1111 in the new version would have 1.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was clear on that piece. I think it makes sense. I think we knew when we set it up we were going to learn some things, so I don't have any objections to going through and reconfiguring it. I do think it's a good idea to update or increase our required support, because I have seen that things can pass very, very easily. And the conversation around subjective, setting what types of leave to include and what qualifies to be a contributor to receive the tokens is important to clarify going forward. So all of what you just said is in the post that you just put up a few minutes ago?
Yep.
Great. Awesome. I'd love to hear from anybody else around this change.
I think it's
Kai,
a
what
good
do you
idea. All this sounds really good.
The biggest problem for me is I guess there's nothing we can really do about it because mainnet is so expensive, and it seems like we see it as an experiment and want to make new DAOs. But changing addresses and stuff is not very trust generating. Like I was just thinking of a very easy solution, like where we have a standard, because it's this crazy address, right? Like you basically type A-R-A and expect, that your browser spits out the name, or you find the link somewhere, but no way you could remember the link to our DAO dashboard. So we should if we change stuff, we should make sure that right after we have an ENS name updated for that, and we should have a link that's just dao.giveth.io. I'm going to set that up. Just easy, low-hanging fruit that points to our dashboard. Yeah. So we have at least one source of truth that's still Web 2 and DNS, but what are you going to do? If we change that, at least have some reference.
I completely agree, and I think it should be rgive.giveth.io or something, because we'll have the governance DAO, and that'll be, there's like the real DAO, which is the give, and then there's kind of like rgive is sort of like our team, the core team, like, or the foundation, you could even say, that in a lot of projects. And so like the rgive DAO is not necessarily as prominently focused, and right now we don't even have any documentation anywhere that I could find about rgive DAO. So like, because I feel like I totally agree that we after this redeployment, if we decide to redeploy, then we should not just willy-nilly change things again.
Right.
But I couldn't even find any links that we would have to change on our documentation. Do you guys know if there's any documentation on rgive?
I don't think so. A document. Oh, go ahead.
I don't think there is. There's definitely not on docs.giveth.io.
No, there isn't anything published in the docs. I just have the worksheet that we used when we set our original parameters.
Oh, cool. Is that like a Google Doc or a spreadsheet or something?
It is. Yeah, it's a Google Doc. I'm looking for it right now.
Ah, cool.
Could you send it to me too if you find it? Because I think one of the things that we're going to do with comms is like also make better documentation for Argif and put it up.
Yep.
Thank you.
And it's all right that we call it Argif, but just for the dashboard, I think if you would prefer to like say, okay, this is the foundation, that's way more descriptive to me than. And in the end, if we need users of our community and stakeholders to be able to, navigate our governance space.
That's a really good call. We should consider what we want to call this DAO. Foundation is fine by me, but it also sounds like it has a legal entity. We could call it like temporary core or something. Put temporary in the name somehow.
Interim.
Giveth Corporation.
Giveth Corporation.
I would say whoever writes this thing for the dogs has first rights at like trying to take a shot at what to call it.
Nice, that's some incentive right there.
The question maybe with this is like, do we want this internal or external?
It's going to have to be external because the Argif DAO will control so much around the token distribution and the token launch that it needs to be externally accountable.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, guys. I got a bulldozer in my backyard. Hope you can still hear me.
Yep.
We can.
Awesome. All right. We've got 20 minutes left. Shall we have any other questions around this? It sounds like I'm gonna pull up that document, which I'm sorry, I'm on my super slow computer and it's not happening in this moment. But I will get it here as it loads. Anything else around the vesting, the time frame? Mitch, you were saying something. There's a piece in there about how long. Is there anything to talk about with that?
No, I think I just need to make a proposal for it.
Yeah, it sounded like Hannah wanted to make a proposal. I'm just curious, does anyone else want to propose a different distribution?
I was just thinking of doing one so we have another option, but I want it to be like educated, so I was going to try to kind of ask around and see if any other, like, I don't know, any other people who have done token engineering and stuff have ideas. But yeah, that's kind of, so I'll try to do that so we have another option to look at.
Very cool. Great. Okay, shall we move in and spend a little, oh, yep, I hear you. Oops. No? Last call? All right, let's chat about what's going on with the dApps and what our criteria are for being able to go live. I heard something cool that I think is really important from you, Griff, about all of the circle/working group stewards having an opportunity to give a thumbs up before we go live. So mapping a little bit of what are the things that we need to complete and test and get acceptance from the full team being prepared to launch the Give economy. I feel like I might have just gone down.
I just think everybody, before we launch this special moment, everyone, it's like serious advice process. I kind of like to think of it as like a rocket launch, It's like comms is a go, token economy team is a go, and just having everybody kind of like, it's like, and then we launch, and then the rocket goes into the moon.
Yeah, I love that. I really love it. And I just want to check in with you, Donna. As I know you're kind of project managing and coordinating that piece of it.
Yeah.
It sounds like we have a couple of issues that we know we need to clear and feel good about and test thoroughly in order to do that. But the other thing I heard is we don't really have a date. We don't really have a date scheduled yet for when it's going to launch.
No,
but it might be good. Go ahead.
Yeah, it might be good to have a date, but actually in our call today, we expect to be in a really good shape in 2 sprints, but as we are dependent on Giveth and Trace, and these tokens have to be stabilized, and we have to make sure that it's just like everything is in the right place. We need to just be a bit like careful to launch it, when to launch it, but I think in 2 sprints, 2.5 sprints, we will be in a really good shape, but still we need to test, and we are dependent on Giveth.io and Trace, and they need to be stabilized, and the integration should be like done. And I think more resources for that to just to be launched, to be like synced with the Give economy, and we will talk about that in the DAPS call. And I think they decide to go forward. Maybe we need to have more resources, or that's it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I was just like making notes, and as they were coming to my mind from what I heard from you guys this morning. So like from Griff, how you were saying we're being cleared for launch. Like I can see the economy having everything that they need to have ready and being able to clear for launch. But then IO and Trace and the integration, those steps need to be clear, that we're going to have those complete and clear for launch. Project verification, donor support, and project creation support, having a team in place and all of that tested in order to clear. And then communications, having our Twitters and our blogs and all of the things around that drafted, reviewed, and ready for launch. So each sprint is 2 weeks, so the economy's ready in 4 weeks, then each of the other groups can be taking a look at what do we need to have to feel, and like really critical eyes, like really looking at from the best possible standpoint, what do we want to have complete to be able to clear that for launch.
Yeah, it's 2 sprints. It's just 1 month, so 1 month from now. So yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry, can I add something?
Please do.
When we just working with the IO code more, we'll figure out that we have a huge technical that's there. So which one we take to kind of do overhaul? We think that it's better that we overhaul it with the new design. So we're kind of seeking a new design ready, and after that we just can start estimating about the new design stuff, and also doing the technical bit. So the duration gets multiple. If the dependency with the design team gets longer and longer. I assume that we have to have design as soon as possible. I have contact with Mosaidi about it, and after that we can reach a kind of rough estimations about how much it takes to, for example, overhaul parts of the IO app. And about the integration, it's probably set up. Amin can talk about it, about the integration of the backend for both apps. It takes time too, but we didn't have a clear estimation about it. But I assume that it's not easy. It takes time. We have to be ready for it, because according to my estimation, it could be more than 10,000 users in or applications or apps. So we have, and besides, we do need kind of operations flows and on-call devs for supporting these apps. For example, at the weekends, when the time zones change, if we have problem, we have to have someone to fix the problems that staff can do it, have the ability of it, and also know everything. So these three parameters are very tough. We have persons that are available during a short period of time that can fix issues, know everything. But we cannot extend this body to the 24/7. So we have to train and do that. And these are my concerns on my side. I mean, do you have something to add?
Yes, thank you. Danny, there is some noise from your side, I guess.
Yes, I have a bulldozer redoing my driveway right now. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Monique. You cleared it out mostly. I mentioned in the previous call it was for the token that maybe we launch the token and we push on it and release it and make it ready for being released. But unless we have a stable Giveth IO and Giveth trace, we won't say that we are ready to launch, because people will. It will get traction and people will be dropping on our side. And if there are major issues and we seem like an iQuart product, sorry to tell it, that there are major issues in it, it will be very bad for us, of course. As I see the Giveth IO specifically, because it was first written in Gatsby and we are deploying the Next.js one, and as far as I know, it has not deployed. I don't know, is the Next.js deployed on Giveth IO or not? I don't know, but we know that Giveth IO backend had issues and it's not, and doing the integration needs some integrated backend service to provide APIs. Also, the front end is implemented in some way that it's not easily can be fixed. For instance, the pagination is done low in front end and many other stuff. The wallet management, these are behind, besides the serious issues we had in the backend. So we kick off by holding some sessions for designing the backend and how we can adopt the current state of the art technologies for implementing easily and fastly the backend. which supports both the trace functionalities and also Giveth. And we have an integrated service that provides information for both the project and Giveth.io and Giveth Trace, and it's on the beginning of its way. And I think that we lack enough resources in implementing the backend, of course, because we have only the Mohammed. I'm involved with. I would like to participate there, but I'm involved with token at the moment, and I can say that I will not be ready for at least 2 or 3 weeks. We have 2 ways. Wait for that to help. I joined Mohammed to work on in design implementing the new backend, or we hire another backend developer. Jawad, it's a great consult for us. He has good hand development and very deep knowledge in microservice design because he has a high level position in the software company in Germany, and he knows well about how to design the application. But he has not much time to do what he did. So we will keep him. We will have him as a consult, for our design, maybe for development, but it is as it is. That's it. So I think that we should decide right now to how much we will push on token and how much we will push on integration. As Monique said, we had not designed yet. After the design, we can provide some estimate, but we don't have enough resources because Mohammed will be interrupted. Maybe I will be interrupted. Java is not fully available, and such lack of focus on single project slow down the developers. It's really matters. I personally has been slowed down very much. Since I involved in multiple project, and it's I don't like that. I don't like it for other devs. I want to make them participate in at least as possible projects. That's it. Thank you for hearing. If you take line, pass it to Danny again.
I feel like I've had a part of my brain turned off for a really long time around software deployment and project management, and something just flipped the switch. All this stuff just fell out of my head, and I'm thinking especially around user testing and having like a test environment and getting some users engaged and playing with this and getting their feedback, because I heard you talk a lot, about who's reporting the issues and solving the issues, but there's like a whole train of that I would like to, I want to dive into this week, which is who are the people who are skilled enough to fully test this in a test environment and identify the issues. Because if we don't identify the issues in advance and have enough people getting in there and using it in order to identify what the issues and understand how to report the issues so that we can track them and solve them, and then update documents before we actually go live. Like there's a whole chain of activities there that I'm thinking about now. So looking forward to diving into that a little bit this week and for the next 1 to 2 months probably. And thank you very much for pointing out the other side of that. We need to identify the issues and get them reported accurately, and then we need to have the right people available to solve those, A, beforehand, and B, actually at launch. So lots of things to think about there around that subject and work on. We are pretty close to the top of the hour, so I'm going to put myself on mute and thank you all for a great call and ready to dive into the week together. And I'll hand it over to you, Hannah. Do you have any last words you'd like to share? I picked you, Hannah, because I just wanted to check in with other governance. stewards now that we've
Sorry.
implemented our new roles. Okay, go.
Yep, I thought I was unmuted. So let's see. In terms of everything, like I guess I'm just going to catch up on the forum posts, look at Griff's post, try to research and propose something for a vesting schedule, and then work on that RGive post. And so that is it for me. I'm excited to jump into the week with all of you. I will pass it to Mateo.
Nothing to add. I'll pass it to Lauren.
Yeah, sorry. I'm excited to just like jump into the forum and see what the comments are on the vesting post and just like review the last proposals, job descriptions that are up there. And yeah, looking forward to the week. I'll pass it to Griff.
Yeah, no comments. Lots of good action. Excited for the dev call. Pass it to Amin.
Nothing to add. Pass it to Moni.
No comments. Love to hear from you. Nice to meet you.
Nothing to add. Same as Lauren. Just digging into the forum and reading everything. And I'll pass it to Donna.
Well, great call. I'm looking forward for the forum result, and also I'm going through that. And yeah, I pass it to Mateo or Ashley.
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to add. It was great to cover some of these things as we move forward. It's good to keep like a bigger picture in mind of what we need from each team. And yeah, no other closing thoughts. I'll pass it to Mia.
Nothing to add from my side, and I'll pass it to Amin. No, I think you've been. Kai?
Yo, what? That was great to hear just from Monique and Amin. Excited for a dev call. I will bring it over there, but yeah, let's get the requirements written down. I will be visiting the Hackers Conference Parallelnipolis on the weekend. So I might do some headhunting there. You know, lots of great hackers, and they know some people. And yeah, it's nice to see you all again, and I'll ramp up my availability as well. But yeah, I'm not going to do much on back end, just help with the deployments. Thanks, guys. I don't know who still has to go. Please go.
Ciao. Nothing to add, so I'm giving it back to Danny.
Yeah. All right, we're complete. I know there's another meeting to roll into. Thank you all for your time. Let's have an awesome week together.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Cheers.
Bye.